What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Unplayable. We are here with our very first legendary tier list for Set 2, Shadows of the Galaxy. We're ready to rank some cards. We're ready to find the unplayable stank and make some comments on these. You guys ready?
Yeah, I'm glad you clarified this is the first legendary tier list of Set 2 because it's also going to be the last one.
It's in fact, the only one.
we have quite the history of when we make a tier list for legendary cards, we are strictly correct and no one else need bother. So
yeah, yes,
that's great.
So this is coming from a place of like high skill, high knowledge, facts. Right. As the kids say, facts.
All right, and we always debate this, but this is with Premier constructed in mind, not draft, right?
Yes.
I maintain that this is whatever you want it to be.
That's just silly, Mike. It's just silly.
Look, we always do this, but yet we always end up being totally right. So I think it's fine.
Okay.
All right, let's get going.
Don't overthink it, Coach.
First up, we've got Supreme Leader Snoke. He's an 8-cost blue villain ground unit. He's a 6/6 with the Force, First Order, and official tags. And each enemy non-leader unit gets -2/-2. Oh yeah, and we're doing our grades on our phone and we're revealing it simultaneously.
Yeah.
For those who haven't seen this before, this is our strategy.
This is how we do
ready?
it.
Yeah.
Here we go. And reveal. A something.
Someday.
And and Snoke and A+. Okay. All right.
I like S for Snoke. That's fun.
Is that our deciding factor?
Absolutely.
Yes,
if your name starts with one of our tier letters, that's what you get.
That's
I think this dude's just gas.
Uh-huh.
I think this is one of the best 8 drops we have in the game. Hands down.
I think he is really good. I agree. But there are times where you're going to play him and he's not really going to do all that much. So that's why I'm A+ versus S. Like, I think he's really good in some matchups and then pretty good in other matchups. I don't think he's ever like bad.
Right.
But yeah.
Yeah, because if you're going against the control versus control, it's like, okay, just having a unit they have to answer is like fine. But against any sort of go wide strategy, all of their 3-attack things now down at 1, incredible. Obviously the dream is to just kill their entire board or play this with a bombing run and it's just like, see ya guys. But yeah, just having something they have to answer is sick. I think this is going to be a staple in every control deck for villains.
I think I'm changing my answer to S.
Wow.
That's all it took to sway you?
Well, I gave a glance at the rest of the legendaries and I realized like I'm gonna change it later once we play more. So I think I'm gonna change it to S.
Perfect. All right, so it sounds like we got an S. Starting off with a banger.
I'm not that upset about it.
Jim and Jay are just so persuasive, you know.
I don't even think it has to be against a go wide deck for it to be good. Just like any mid range or aggro deck, I feel like this is pretty good into. So
even just to have things you can make favorable trades into is so sweet.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. We've got Rey. She's a 5-cost blue hero, 4/7 with the Force and Resistance tags. While playing this unit, ignore her hero aspect penalty if you control Kylo Ren. And on attack, you may heal 2 damage from a unit. If it's a non-hero unit, give a shield token to it. All right. D, B, B, B.
D?
D. You are really harsh on this card.
I don't like Rey.
Awesome.
The only thing I like is
Rey.
the 7 health is like, okay. But at 5, like she doesn't impact the game enough.
I don't know. Those stats feel pretty decent for a 5-drop. I mean,
like
it's not Zuckus after you have Forlom on the board, but it's still pretty good.
Like, how bad is this gonna feel into like any Boba deck that plays Waylay or any yellow deck that bounces?
Okay, that's a terrible argument.
Okay, but how? It's like one of the most popular decks in the game.
This card doesn't got a takedown, therefore it's incredible.
Poe is a 5-cost. I still think he's gas. Just because he can get waylaid doesn't mean he's bad.
But like you're incentivized to play Poe in a way that makes you want to run ambush, right? Like this, because it has such a powerful effect. Because what big deal? So you ambush Rey in, like you use
and you
ECL
heal something a shield.
Heal 2 damage, give a shield. I don't buy it.
I mean,
I don't buy it.
Okay, if I'm already putting Kanan in decks for the 4/5 for 4 just to get a force unit out, like this card is already pretty sweet. It can heal a lot of the like non-heroic. This is not even just going in the Kylo deck. So it does a lot of cool things. I think the force trade is very relevant. And 4/7 stat line is really good. Like a lot of the best leaders in the game are coming out with 4/7 and you're having to get very creative with how to kill it. So I just feel like this card sticks around. It's annoying. You don't like want to deal with it, but you have to. That's why I put it at a B.
I don't think it's so bad that it's a D. Like,
Yeah, I agree.
I'm not the most
I think it's
excited
just
about
mid.
it, but
I can't
that's
wait
why
to
I'm
revisit
B
this
rather
list.
than a D. Like literally, like there's only a couple cards in here that I would put as a D.
What would Rey upgrade be? Like Rey's what are we putting there? Are we just saying lightsaber, or she gets something cool? Her
No,
staff?
nothing. Why are you trying to create future cards?
I don't know. Just
we
one.
already know all the cards. It's just not in this set, so it's just not a good
Yeah.
card.
Okay.
All right, where are we putting this?
Yeah. Fine. There were
three
three
Bs
Bs.
and
There
a
were
B.
3
Definitely
Bs in
B.
the C. I think
You can do Bs, but I'm gonna fight for that to be the bottom of the B, the bottom of the barrel.
That's
I'm
fine.
sure you
Every
will.
card we put in B, I need this argument of why that card is better than Rey.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, next up we got Mandalorian, 6 cost blue hero, 5/6 Mandalorian bounty hunter with Sentinel. When played, you may heal all damage from a unit that costs 2 or less and give 2 shield tokens to it.
I'm
All
so
right.
ready.
Like
There you go.
spicy.
B, A minus D. All right.
D tier. Respectable.
Half the reason why I did that was because of the last one that
Okay.
we did, but I was between like C and D. I don't really like this guy that
How
much.
is Rey better than Mandalorian?
Because I'd rather pay 5 for a 4/7 than 6 for a 5/6. Like,
But with Sentinel.
I think Obi-Wan's just
Has
better than
immediate
him.
impact.
Like 99% of the time. Like a rare card is better than this legendary.
I don't know if I agree that Obi-Wan's better because this dude's got a win played effect where Obi-Wan
Yeah,
has a
but
win
like, what are
defeated
you
effect.
like, doing with the when play? Like, is your 2-drop still around? Do you still care about it?
I mean,
Who
It's
cares?
gonna seem.
I've had some games where I've put like R2 or Battlefield Marine on board and like upgraded them and then played this and give them 2 shields. Now it's just like impossible to defeat them.
Were
unless
you
have
not
melee.
like winning that game already anyway? If they're still around at that point with like lightsabers and stuff.
I don't know. I still think he's better than Obi-Wan because at least with this you get the win played, and Obi-Wan, if he gets waylaid, you don't get anything. You have to just play him again.
We're back to the waylay argument.
Because you know waylay
Oh my
is
gosh.
the definitive reason that you
Even
have
though I
to.
agree with you, Jay, I'm going to say, well, that's a terrible argument.
That's the reason I made it. Now I don't know. I think him and Obi-Wan fit similar roles, so I mean I can see where you're coming from.
I think D is a little too harsh. That was a meme answer. My real answer is C, but I'm still not like super excited to put this in any deck that I have.
I mean,
Yeah, I struggled with it. I almost put B because he does. I haven't found a deck that felt like it wanted him, so I don't know.
All
I
right.
could for sure see the arguments between that and Obi-Wan. It does have better stats. Obi-Wan, in my opinion, is like a low A kind of card, but I don't know. I think there's going to be some really.
This has
cool
only like
synergies with
marginally
this.
better stats because if Obi-Wan dies, he has like more stats total.
If you have another card on board, yeah,
Yeah, which like you usually do.
for sure with Luke. Yeah, that's where you're playing it. But
Well,
All right,
Mandalorian
by-
has good stats too. If you have another unit on board, I think.
Well, by rule of this democracy, we're going
Yeah,
to
what
put
is
it in
it?
B. B better than Rey. B is for better than Rey.
I'm good with that. I would
You guys
rather
are
play
like
Mando
crazy.
than Rey.
Yeah, 2 of the guys put A, so, you know, that's
Yeah, you guys are
reasonable.
nuts.
All right. Next up, we've got Second Chance. It's a 3-cost yellow upgrade from Star Wars Destiny that allows the thing to not die.
this card
That was
is
a thing to not die.
so fun to me.
All right, it's a 4-cost double blue upgrade. It doesn't add any stats. It just says attached to a non-leader unit. Attached unit gains when defeated. For this phase, this unit's owner may play it from their discard pile for free.
All right, you guys ready?
All right, 3, 2, 1. C, C, D, C.
Excellent.
All right.
C, C, D,
I feel
C.
like we're 3 people united and 1 off every round.
It's my turn to be the odd one out next time.
I think this card's super freaking mid. I don't like it that much. It's super expensive.
Mid would be C.
It's worse than mid. It's terrible. You have to have a unit on board you care about playing again. I don't know. This is.
I think I put it at C because I think it is purely a sideboard card in a very specific deck, or like a meta defined card in a very specific deck where you're playing double blue control and you're playing against probably another control deck where you want to get a little bit more mileage out of like your big units.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it. So
Yeah, this is where the
I could
Waylay
see it at
argument
D2,
actually has
honestly.
legs, because Waylay does not work with this. You just lose 4 resources. But the other ones you can like replay and it's not that big of a deal. But where this is an upgrade, it just gets discarded. And so that's where the bounce effects against any yellow, that almost keeps this as strictly a sideboard card.
Yeah.
I think the only reason it moved from a D to a C for me is because it has the word free in it, and anything in a TCG that has the word free in it feels like it should be bumped just for that.
I feel like that's a not what people usually mean when it's free, because it's not like you're paying 4 resources for it. You're not like
Right.
Yeah,
it's
fair.
not free, right?
But if you get to attack with your Luke into something, restore 3, Luke dies, and then you can bring Luke back to do -6/-6.
Yeah, that's cool. I think like that's an instance where it's a useful card, but it's I don't know.
All right, throw it in C.
Throw it in D.
I
got
stand by
outnumbered.
C. I think it will be good in places.
Go ahead and flip Rey and Mandalorian around too.
that I do want to do.
No, hold on. All right, next up, we're going into green, people. We've got the Finalizer, 11 cost, green villain, 11/11, first order vehicle, capital ship with overwhelm. When played, choose any number of friendly units. Each of those units captures an enemy non-leader unit in the same arena. All right. 1, 2, 3. Unplayable, D. Unplayable, unplayable. Hey, Jim's the one that's off this round.
I did it. I did it.
did that
Well,
on
we didn't have an
purpose.
F tier for Finalizer, so I didn't know what to do and panicked a little bit.
Yeah, this card's bad. I don't see this being played
Yeah.
whatsoever.
Yeah. I mean, when you've got stuff like Relentless and Devastator right before this that feel better and this costs more, like, why would you ever play this over Devastator?
It's a great question. I've
And-
disliked this since the moment I
It's-
saw it.
Somehow, if there's like go wide versus go wide, and this can sort of clear their board and keep yours alive,
Wait a
that's
second.
the only time.
If
But
you're
it's,
doing a go wide versus go
You're not
wide
playing
deck,
an
you're
11 cost
never
card.
getting to 11.
I'm also thinking of I've been trying so hard to make a future 14 cost card work, and one copy of this to just clear their board and they all come out is what I'm trying to make happen.
Guys,
So
endless lead.
to let my
I'm putting this in
dreams be
unplayable, and we're moving on.
Yes, please. All right, rule of respect 4, cost, green hero event. A friendly unit captures each enemy non-leader unit that attacked your base this phase.
Yep.
There it is. 3, 2, 1, flip. D, C minus, C, D.
I honestly have no idea how to evaluate this card because I've not really played with it much, but it doesn't seem good.
Yeah, I kind of just gave it a D because like I don't think it's good, but I might be wrong, and
That's why I gave it a C.
that was my hedge.
So why don't we just go with D?
So where I see this played is against like aggro matchups. Like if you're going against Sabine, like getting to 4 resources is that turn where they're really trying to swing the tide in their favor. And you only have to have 1 unit out to capture all of them. So yes, you have to protect that unit with everything you have, but it could be a long enough stall where you're able to like stabilize the board and get it back.
They flip their Sabine, they attach a dark saber to Sabine, and they still hit you for 14 over 2 turns.
Yeah, that card coming up is going to be a spicy take on
So-
this one.
Yeah.
D.
Yeah, D.
I'm cool with that.
Okay.
But I do think
D.
there will be some fringe play with this card.
While you're at
Yeah,
it, go
I
ahead
agree.
and drag second chance down to D and then flip Rey and Mandalorian.
Get out here.
And put Finalizer up above
may do
Snoke,
that at the
please,
end.
while we're at it.
All right, Dark Saber.
Dark Saber.
Saber.
We've got a 4 cost green upgrade. It gives +4, +3. It says attached to a non-vehicle unit. While playing this upgrade on a Mandalorian unit, ignore its aspect penalty. Attached unit gains on attack. Give an experience token to each other friendly Mandalorian unit. All right. 3, 2, 1. A+, S, A plus. A plus. Ooh, we
Wow.
were really not just
We were
close.
very close.
and the same, but
We were
A
really
plus,
close.
3 A pluses.
I was about to go S minus for what it's worth.
That would have been clutch. I might be biased here, but I think Dark Saber is just straight fire. But I also like playing Sabine, and I like playing the Mandalorian tribal deck. So that's just me. But I think this card is insane. Throwing this on a Sabine on the flip turn, which is turn 3, swinging for 7,
Yep.
buffing stuff up, swinging again for 7 the following turn. It's like that's half of your opponent's health if they're running a 30-point base. If they're on a 25, then you basically just killed them. Like,
Yeah.
this card is insane if you get it on Sabine turn. I think players are going to have to do, like, plan for that. Because if you don't have an answer for Sabine getting a Darksaber on her with, like, swoop down, take down, confiscate, something like that, then you're just going to get swamped.
Yep.
Yeah.
Card's good.
And Rival's Fall comes out way too late to be able to stall it in time. So
Definitely.
it's like the card that defeats the leaders is just too slow.
Exhaust is still pretty good against it.
Mm-hmm.
Like any
Yeah.
kind of upgrade removal. So I mean, I give it an A plus, but that's why I didn't give it an S, because it does have a lot of counterplay, but it is very powerful.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. A plus.
A plus.
A plus.
All right.
All right. All right, next up we've got Endless Legions. We got 14 cost, double green event. Reveal
many
any
cost?
number of resources you control. Play each unit revealed this way for free.
All right.
Does say free. All right, and reveal. D, D, B, U. J. Oh my
I'm proud of you, Jay. Let's go.
God.
Let's
B.
go. All right, so here's my strategy with this one, Coach.
Here we go. Let them dream.
It's free. It's future proofing the
Okay,
list.
fair.
Because I feel like at some point you're gonna be able to quadruple ramp on turn 2, and then you play this on turn 3, or some kind of nonsense. You know, I mean, at some point there's got to be a way to play this early enough for it to be good. You know what I mean?
I could see this getting better in the future for sure, with like more ramp cards and more ways to survive until you hit 14 resources. But I feel like at this point, if you're getting to 14 resources, you don't need this. Like, this is like the most win more cards I've ever seen in my entire life. If you haven't won by this point in the game in double green specifically, like, I don't know what to tell you. It's just, I don't know.
I don't think the card is good. I probably wouldn't actually rate it a B, but I do
You're hedging
want to
really
not
hard.
put it on unplayable, because I feel like eventually the card will be good, like be playable.
Unplayable
it
might be a
should be
little
in-
harsh, but I don't think anybody will play it.
It needs
Yeah.
to be in D because D is for dream. And that's what this
Perfect.
card is going to do.
I'm good. I'm good
I
with
want
that.
to make it happen so badly. I want my triple crate dragon endless legion deck to work.
Yeah.
I do think if I'm thinking of like double green control though, like vigilance for 6 is fine as a potential win condition, but having this in there as like a different win condition is a potential idea. But that was like the only place my head was really going, was like that control versus control sideboard. I'm like, it's still fine and cute, but there's probably better things you can be doing.
Your opponent just
I'm
plays
in
the
agreement
relentless,
with
and then
you.
you can't play your 14 cost event. and then
There you go.
lose.
That's right.
Well, you got to get to 14 way before they get to 9.
You sure
That's right.
Otherwise, there's no
You
reason
sure
you're playing
do.
this card.
Game on.
So where are we
right.
putting this? Are we putting it at a D just to hedge against
Yeah.
against the
Yeah.
future?
And that feels
Future
generous, truly.
Okay.
All right, Kylo's TIE Silencer. It's a 2-cost red villain space unit. It's a 3/2 first order vehicle fighter with an action. If this unit was discarded from your hand or deck this phase, play it from your discard pile. And reveal. A, B, A. Oh, we were so
Oh,
close.
I was
We
the
were
lowest
close.
one?
Believe it or not.
Really?
We were close.
I was surprised by that. I think it's a good card. Don't get me wrong. I think this is a sweet card. I like, there are other 3/2 spaceships now. There's just one,
It's true.
right? The mercenary
There's
gunship.
two. There's that, and then there's the unlicensed headhunter, I think.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so obviously this one's better than both of those because there's not really a downside to it. But the downside of the other two don't feel like they're that bad to where this feels like it's that much better than those. It's also weird because it's Kylo's, but also if you're playing the aggro strategy, then it's really a non-bow with Kylo. I don't know if aggro strategy is 100% the way to go with Kylo, and you can play Kylo in different ways, but I don't know. It just seems like it's a good ship. It only has 2 health though.
Yeah, it's just like a good ship in that stat line that's cheap, right? Like it's not the most exciting legendary. I'm actually like kind of annoyed that this is a legendary because it doesn't feel that legendary. It feels pretty.
And that's how
generic.
I'm ranking it.
It felt legendary until they spoiled the other 3-2 space ships.
Sure.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, like they probably couldn't have made it a 3-3 because that would have been insane, but they could have, I don't know. The ability could have been a little bit more interesting or given you some other exciting thing to do with it. I'm not sure. I don't think it feels all that legendary. I think if this was like a rare or an uncommon, nobody would bat an eye. I think it's a decent card. I don't know. I put it at A. I could see it at B. It's not like super exciting, but I think it is good and has a place in decks.
I obviously understand the non-bow comment from earlier, but Jay, can you just explain to the viewers why you think that's a non-bow in aggro Kylo? Because
aggro Kylo wants to get rid of all their cards by the time he flips, and this is giving you card advantage by discarding it with Kylo's ability and then playing it from your discard pile. You don't want to be doing that because you want to get rid of all the cards in your hand.
So by spending the resources from your discard pile rather
Instead
than
of
your
in
hand,
your hand, yeah.
there's less cards in your hand. Okay.
Sometimes it works out if the cards in your hands are cheap enough, or if you draw this later in the game after Kylo's flipped or something like that.
All right.
A?
We had 3 A's and a B, so I think it's an A for now.
Definitely
A,
under Dark
definitely
Saber.
not better than Dark Saber.
All right.
Fair.
Speaking of Kylo, got a 6-cost red villain unit. He is a 6/7 with the Force and First Order tags. While playing this unit, ignore his villain aspect penalty if you control Rey. On attack, give a unit +2/+0 for this phase. If it's a non-villain unit, also give an experience token to it. Man, I actually don't know what I think about this. All right. Ready?
Yep.
A-, A+, A+, A!
A plus.
We did it.
No, A+.
I should have put A minus to line up with the other guys. It's definitely, I think he's better than Rey, but I don't think he's like insane. He's just good.
Yeah, he's really good, I think. I like his
The stats
stats.
alone are good.
I like that if you attack with him, like if you ambush him, you can attack for 8. That's a big number.
You can kill a
lot of things.
pretty much every leader. Almost every leader. Not quite.
Not Jabba.
Not Jabba, not Thrawn.
Almost.
Not Palp.
But yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm too excited in A+, but I think he's pretty good. I like his stats.
But even if you don't ambush him, if he sticks on the board, you can just first action give himself +2. You're attacking for 8 with a 6-cost unit, which is
yeah, a lot of damage.
He's so much better than Rey because the +2 is unconditional to the type of character it is.
Yeah.
And it's way better than the unconditional
healing too.
heal 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I agree.
that he's way better than Rey.
All right, so A, probably
Better than the silencer,
better
in
than
my
the-
opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with
I
that.
might put it above Dark Saber, but I don't know if you guys are
You can put it-
willing to
you
do
can do
that.
that.
But
I probably would. I probably
I wouldn't,
I don't know.
but if it's 3 versus
I'm happy
1,
to keep it here for now. We can move on to
You
Poe.
can swap the Rey and the Mando though.
By the end of this, don't worry. I'll find a way.
All right, what's next? Oh,
All right, we've
you
got
only had to do it.
We've got Poe Dameron, 5-cost, red hero, 6/6, resistance tag. On attack, discard up to 3 cards from your hand. For each card discarded this way, choose a different option. Deal 2 damage to a unit or base. Defeat an upgrade. An opponent discards a card from their hand. Here we go. Let's see it. S+, perfect.
Hey,
amazing.
we agreed.
Why is this the best card in the game, David?
Oh gosh, what's not to
You
love?
said S plus.
I'm
Yeah.
I'm putting it above Snoke.
Yeah, it's definitely above
Definitely.
Snoke. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, I mean, at 5 costs, are you kidding me? It would shock me if this wasn't a 3 of in every red hero deck for the foreseeable several sets. I mean, just the stat line alone is great. And then you get into those options and just so much versatility. If he sticks on the board of like, what do you need in this moment? And you're able to do it. And obviously a great ambush target. Just, they nailed it. Great design.
He's real
5 cost 6/6 is real good.
Yep.
Yeah.
Real
with
good.
with a good ability.
With a good ability.
Because you got to
Yeah.
think of those cards that you're discarding as 0-cost events, essentially.
Yeah. That don't
that
cost
you're playing
actions
on attack.
and let you do whatever you want.
Love it.
Yep. So and he pairs perfectly with the black one.
That's
You
right.
play him on 5, use tack, discard all 3, play the black one, draw 3 cards back. Easy.
It's pretty fun.
Easy.
The singles price for Black One like shot up as soon as this was revealed. It was very funny.
Or even better, you're playing Han 2. You play this on 4. You play black
that's-
one on
yeah.
5.
Yeah, that's sweet.
Done.
So good. All right, moving on. We got the Crate Dragon, 9 cost, just red. It's a 10/10 creature with Overwhelm. When an opponent plays a card, you may deal damage equal to that card's cost to their base or ground unit they control. All right, everybody ready?
Yep.
And let's see it. S A A
Wow,
S.
2 S's and an A. That's kind of spicy, as
See?
David said.
Yeah.
It's pretty
That's spicy.
spicy. I'm surprised you guys are so high on this.
I love
Because
this
I haven't
card.
seen you guys build any decks with this card in it.
It's hard.
So-
It's hard to build control at the beginning of a meta because you don't know what to answer
You're
yet.
controlling.
Yeah,
Exactly.
like it's way easier to ask the questions than to answer questions that you don't know exist.
Yep. But there are, between Han coming out, with Jabba coming out, stuff that decreases the cost of units. I think this is going to be extremely powerful. I mean, it has an immediate impact on the game because even if you have a removal, you're still taking damage to your base just to remove this guy. So
That's interesting. So you could play like a ramp Han deck where you like resupply,
Ramp all the
Spark
way
of
up to
Hope.
Crate Dragon.
and then you get to play Crate
That's-
Dragon 1 turn early because of his ability. So maybe you can
That's-
get there on like turn 6.
Definitely gonna try that out.
that's my first deck I plan to build. It's literally like
I-
I'm looking for pose and crates.
Can you get there on flip turn? Can you play this on flip turn?
You could ramp twice before. Probably not.
But why would it matter on filter?
That would just be sick. Get
Oh,
this
yeah,
out
yeah. I was
on,
like,
because
on
it's
5
cool.
You can't
resource turn?
stack Han's ability like I thought you were thinking like I can make it to this.
All right, sorry,
so
I didn't
good.
mean flip turn, but like what would normally be the 5 resource turn. So like
Oh,
turn
yeah.
4.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think you could.
Turn
Yeah.
4, get this thing out. That'd be insane. Yeah.
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
just good. How is this not
Pied
nice?
is the dream scenario for me is like, Pied right in the back of this Crate Dragon, ambushing your opponent for, 10 damage and then
Jim, that was in the movies.
it hanging out.
Right. Not in the movies.
Next card.
Let's put the dragon
Alright.
at S, right?
Yep.
Oh,
Right,
you're
Jim
putting
and
it
Jay?
S?
Yeah.
We can put it at the top of
okay.
A if you want.
No,
No,
don't do
no.
it, Mike.
I'm
You
okay
do
with
it.
it
I
feel
being
like it's
like
at the
around
same
flip
level.
value.
I don't know.
I really do think that's fair.
All right, we got a few left.
All right. We got
That's a
Trident.
spicy take.
We
Putting Crate Dragon in S.
I don't think it is. Dryden Voss, 7 cost, yellow villain, 5/7 underworld with shielded. When played, choose a captured card guarded by a unit you control. You may play it for free under your control. All right, my gem is ready. Let's see it. B plus B.
Wow, look at that.
Thanks, guys.
Everyone put B, baby.
There we
We
go.
crushed it.
It's because
It's better
the
than both
reason
of
he's a
these.
B.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
the reason he's a B is because when he hits, he's real good, and when he doesn't, he's a 7 cost 5/7 shielded,
Yeah.
which
Shielded.
is
Yeah, there you go.
not great because you get similar stats with Count Dooku, and he at least can defeat something on play. This guy you have to like set up to be able to do
Yeah.
the cool play, so it's like 50-50 that he's good. So
Yeah.
that's why he's B.
Yeah. Requires setup, but
But when
I-
he hits, baby.
that's right.
Setup cards in this game are like almost like tests for your opponent, like skill tests for your opponent. Like a good player will know to play around stuff like this, where like somebody who maybe doesn't know the whole card pool, you can like
A
capture
better
a
player
card, let it sit.
makes it to where you can't play around it.
I like that.
Yeah, in theory, but you're trying to like I don't know. For me, like games
Yeah,
like this,
no,
it's
I
like
know what
I
you
know
mean.
what's coming, therefore I'm going to keep the cards strategically back that do that. Yeah, you can think the whole like level of play kind of ideas, but
Yeah.
I like the idea of playing this in a Jabba deck because then you don't have to worry about like drawing this alongside other cards that capture stuff. But even then, like you still have to have another unit out to capture the thing with in the first place. It's not trivial.
yellow and green are the colors that are capturing, so that means that it already combos well together.
That's true.
All right, final showdown. 6 cost, double yellow. Ready each unit you control at the start of the regroup phase. You lose the game. You lose, guys. It's gone. All right, this will be interesting.
Yeah.
All right, let's see it. C D A
Let's
S.
go.
No, wow.
Let's go. Me and Mike are,
Oh, wow.
are lined up here. This card's
That's-
good.
I think this
Wow.
card's
I'm shook.
insane.
I'm so shook.
Have we ever
Just based
all
on
four of us
general
disagree?
principle.
I don't know.
Just based on general principle, this is a good A. The minimum A.
Yeah, I
Like-
agree. Minimum A. Like this card's insane. Like
Can be.
yeah, it sometimes just says 6 cost win the game. Like I.
What's not to love
It
about
just
that?
seems good.
Sometimes it's a 6 cost lose the game.
Yeah, it's on the card.
Yeah. I'm thinking specifically in double yellow because it's like you typically want the tricks that are doing like the +3 damage. So I guess I could see that with like, okay, you're exhausted, all of your stuff. The other nice thing is if they are also exhausting your units, it's just like tough. Sorry, you wasted all of that, and now they're back and ready to roll. But
I've had so many games with Boba Yellow where by the time you're at the turn where this would be played, you only need to deal like 10 to 12 damage to your opponent or fewer, like if they're on 30 health, and you get to attack with all your stuff, and then you get to attack with all your stuff again. Like,
Yeah, and I think with Boba in particular, it's really cool because you can attack with them and ready 2 resources to be able to like surprise strike or something in
Yeah.
addition to play
or
this
play
on
like
that turn.
Bazine, like
Yeah.
play Bazine,
Yeah.
then trade into something, and then do this so you know what's in their hand and they see if they can stop you. I think just the ceiling on this card is so high that I think it has to be like up there.
I think it's
Like
pretty cool.
this
Yeah, okay.
single card is going to
Okay.
make your opponent play in so many worse ways to play around it. They're going to have to like bend
Yep.
over backwards to play around this card.
In all of the yellow villain decks I've built so far, I've thrown one of these in the main deck just because every once in 100 games you're gonna get this and it's gonna win you the game.
So, but is that worth it? Like once in a
I
hundred?
don't,
one
I don't think it's
spot?
once in 100 though. I think it's more than that.
If you only I'm saying because I only have one in the deck, so it's like the one time
Oh,
that it,
sure,
like you
sure.
draw the one of on the turn that it wins you the game. You can play more of them in your deck, and sometimes maybe it'll pop off more than that. But I think this card is sick.
What is that noise? Well, okay, first we should explain what's happening right now.
Yeah, go ahead and explain
It's
to the people.
David has a Tyrannosaurus Rex in his house, and that's all we can hear right now. It's just screaming all over the place. You know, it's just really upset about his short arms, and he's muted this entire rest of the video. So we're sorry / you're welcome, and
Yeah, exactly.
we're gonna rank this card now without
That's an A.
David's input.
Let's just
I think
put
it's
it on
an
A.
Yeah,
wow.
I'm leapfrogging you guys. Okay,
I said D.
David
and we'll
agrees.
put it on with it.
Yeah,
A.
okay, you're the only one that put D now because David
right.
agrees that it's an A. I put an S. Jay put an
Okay.
A. It's an A.
Okay, I'll be wrong on this one. That's okay.
We're gonna listen to David's mimology here when he agrees with us, but if he ever says anything dumb, we're just gonna
Yeah, we'll
completely
completely ignore him.
That's right.
All right, well, we got 2 cards left and about
Yep.
5 minutes left to do them.
Yep. We got DJ, the blatant thief, 3-cost yellow card, 3/5 with smuggle 7, but you have to have 2 yellow icons and or aspects. Cost when played using smuggle, take control of an enemy resource. When this unit leaves play, that resource's owner takes control of it. Let's go ahead and get our rankings. All right, everybody, show it. Show the people. A, B+, B+. All right, we were really on this time.
We're pretty close.
Really close. I think this card is sick. I'm trying to find a way to be able to play this in a Lando deck with tech.
Nice.
So
yeah.
that you technically can play this for 3, which is insane.
Neither you nor your opponent can flip. Well, I guess
No.
if you play it for 3, you get to steal their resource, and now you can flip, right?
That, and also you have to play, so you play tech on turn 2, and then you flip first. I mean, technically you could flip first, and
Okay.
then,
Oh, okay, sure.
smuggle this.
That's cool.
but also you could play it before since you go back to 4
Right.
and then flip.
Right,
So,
true.
pretty sick. I don't know
Yeah,
if
that's
that's
sick.
good,
I mean,
but it's
it
really
sounds
cool.
awesome. I think any 3-cost 3/5 can't be worse than an A almost at this point. Like, it's just a really
Good
good stat
stats.
line, and this can go in a hero deck too. A hero does not have very many 3-cost 3/5s. I guess now they have 3. Between this, there's a hero yellow one that's 3/5, and Poe is a 3-cost 3/5. But it's just a
Yep.
really good stat line, and we're seeing
I don't know
more
if
of
I
it.
ever built a double yellow like set one Han, but if I did, this card would go in there just
cool.
to be able to kill the resource and have some fun with it on the flip plus
100%.
attack turn.
That's sweet.
100%.
All right.
Put it up there in A.
Sweet. Last card.
All right, we got Evacuate, a 6-cost yellow event tactic. Return each non-leader unit to its owner's hand. All right. Boom. B, A plus, B plus, A. I mean, we are just thin margins here. Thin margins. Why do you think this is higher than a B? Why do you think it's an A instead of a B?
I think it's just a really efficient way to deal with a lot of units.
Yeah.
And your opponent does get them back into their hand, but then they have to spend their entire, next couple turns rebuilding the board that they had, probably. It doesn't bounce leaders, so that's, a factor. But I think if you're playing some kind of yellow-blue control deck, this is like the perfect card to bridge the gap between like the 6 cost and the 8 cost when you can play Super Laser Blast.
Yeah, I agree. Which is pretty sick. Also, I wonder if there's ever going to be a deck that like plays this and then also plays the card that discards down to everyone discards down to 2.
That's sick, actually.
So you just discard everything and bounce. That'd be awesome.
I immediately am going to go make that. that sounds awesome.
If it didn't hurt you as well, I would actually consider doing it. But the fact that you're bouncing your own units and then have to discard down to 2, it's like, gosh darn it.
It's not a problem if you don't play any units, but it does discard your hand down to 2.
Yeah.
So that does suck.
I'm a little bummed that this is on a legendary. Like, it's a very powerful effect, don't get me wrong, and it's not quite Super Laser Blast by any means, but I think that's kind of what they're going for, of like another board clear option in a different color. But it essentially is just Super Waylay against you and your opponents. So that part's a little bit of a bummer, but I do still think it's really powerful, and the fact that if you're building off of your leader and the leader stay on, that's pretty cool too.
Yep.
All right, so where are we putting this bad boy?
That's up to you.
I think
say
it's
B.
Higher B.
I can put it at the top of B. I think that's...
David is saying B minus, so...
well, I can't hear that, so...
I think he was doing the Triforce emblem from Zelda.
Perfect.
It's here. And while we're at it...
Yeah, while you're at it, go ahead.
Oh my gosh.
Do this.
Yeah.
Swap those up.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay.
Here,
Okay.
let's...
Anything else?
Oh, can you just put a picture of David in the C tier, please?
Yeah,
I'm actually
I certainly
okay.
will.
I'm a little lower on Mando than I was at the start of the list.
This is a pretty good looking list, though. I like this.
Yeah.
This
David's
distribution.
camera's
decent-
not working anymore.
We got some decent legendaries coming
Yeah,
for this set.
I'm pretty pumped.
All right, guys,
That's it. That's defense.
that's done. It's over. We have negative 5 minutes to finish this recording, so we're gonna go ahead and get out here. Thank you guys so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed watching this definitive tier list, and as always, we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.
Bye.